Good morning all, and welcome to an all levels flow practice this morning. We love doing donation classes in Namaste Yoga, and one of the reasons is because when you give good, you get good, right? So that is typically called karma, and a lot of people call it the wheel of karma. And we hear that all the time. Somebody does something good, they get good karma. Something bad happens, that's because they had bad karma. And that's really not how it works. Karma is a Sanskrit word meaning action. It refers to a cycle of cause and effect. In its essence, karma refers to both the actions and the consequences of the actions. Importantly, karma is not set in stone. It's not out of our control and is not indirect. Instead, it means that the steps of your life, your spiritual development, and your personality are directly molded by your thoughts and actions. Present you affects future you. So today we'll do a circular practice. So in the spirit of the wheel of karma, so sitting nice and tall, stack your head over your hips, draw your shoulders back, make some big circles with your shoulders, and sweep the shoulder blades to nestle behind your heart. Sit well, close your eyes, and let your hands rest wherever you like. So you can place them palms up or down on your knees. You can place one hand on top of the other, palms up, thumbs touching, or a mudra of your choice. The word karma means action, not fate. It's a dynamic force. So the meaning of karma is literally action, word, or deed. Think about the actions that you take in your life. Things that you may label good karma, the goodness that you put out into the world. Holding that goodness in your heart, draw your hands to Anjali Mudra now. Thumbs touching the center of the heart. Bow your head to your heart, tap your thumbs to your third eye, honoring whatever intentions or prayers you're holding in your heart this morning. Return your thumbs to your heart, sit up nice and tall, take a long breath in and stretch your arms above your shoulders, lengthen. And as you exhale, drop your left hand down, reach your right arm up and over for a side bend. Bring yourself back to center, side bend, other side, bring your right hand down, left arm up and over. Deep breath in here, and a full breath out. Reach your arms up, taking that into a little twist now. Bring your right hand to your left knee, your left hand behind your hip. Deep breath in. Complete breath out. Reach your arms above your head again and twist to the other side. Big exhale here. And take another deep breath in. And a full breath out. Reach your arms up to the sky and fold your hands to heart center. Place a block right in front of your shins. Switch the cross of your legs for this side, just so we're balanced out today. Place a block at either the lowest or the middle level in front of your shins. And reach your arms above your shoulders again. Take a breath here, and then float that left hand down, right arm up and over again for a side bend.
I went the other way, sorry.
That's fine. Now reach both arms up and take your forearm to that block and find a little twist. So go a slight bit deeper here. Yeah. You can reach your hand back to your hip or creepy crawl it back in behind your hip with fingertips rooted. With your next breath, slowly rise up. Reach your arms up and we'll take that to the other side. So bring your hand to your knee, the opposite hand behind your hip. Oops, side bend first. Hand down, reach your arm up and over. I'm all confused now, Cyndy.
I know, I did the wrong side first.
That's okay. Reach your arms up and take that into a twist now, going a slight bit deeper, bringing forearm down and hand to the hip or crawling behind or taking a half bind. Begin to slowly rise up. Reach your arms up and above your head and fold your hands to your heart. Keeping your knuckles turned forward, begin to press forward with the knuckles, hands interlaced, round your back like cat, like you had a big beach ball between your arms. Lengthen your spine, press up through the palms of your hands now. Take a breath here. And then open your arms, let your fingertips descend to the floor. Bring your hands back to center, interlace, pressing the knuckles forward. Imagine that beach ball, chin to chest. Inhale and lengthen, press up through the palms of your hands. And open your arms nice and wide, fingertips tap down. One more time, interlace your hands, press the knuckles forward, keeping that round shape between your arms. Inhale, reach up, press up through the palms of the hands. Exhale, release your fingertips down and let your hands rest on the earth. Roll your shoulders back and again sit tall. Long breath in. Complete breath out. One more long breath here. And a full breath out. Blink your eyes open, move yourself to table, and begin to move through some cat and cow. So that could be a traditional cat and cow. Maybe you prefer some hip circles or hip dips, or there's something that's feeling a little more authentic for you today, and take that. Cyndy's got a couple of blocks, she's got a blanket, so you can use all of that in your practice today, and if you don't have any of it, you'll be fine too. And coming back to a neutral spine, begin to flip your fingertips back towards your knees and slide your hands a little closer to your knees for a wrist release. Now you can simply shift forward and back, or maybe make some tiny circles with your hips. Again, whatever feels more true to you today. With your toes curled, begin to turn your fingers forward and sit your hips back on your heels for a little toe sit, stretching out the soles of the feet, and just wiggle your fingers, roll your wrists a little bit, maybe even give them a shake, releasing that table. Bring your hands forward again, maybe a little longer than table, and find a short downward facing dog. So not full length, not plank length, a little wider than a table length. Wiggle and move a bit here, adjusting to this shape. And pressing into the left hand, begin to wind your right hand to your left ankle or shin, taking a little twist. And if you need to walk your feet in a bit to get there, you can do that. Maybe walk your feet wider like Cyndy's doing. Keep your knees soft, your tail high, stretching your hand down into the earth and your tailbone up as far away from your hand as you can get it. And then release the right hand, press into the right hand. We'll do the same thing on the left. So taking your left hand underneath you for your right shin or ankle, and take a little twist. One more breath here. And release that twist. Begin to walk your feet to your hands. Come to forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, let it all go. Root down, rise up, stretch your arms all the way up, reach up, and fold your hands to heart center on Jolynn Mudra. And again, just give your fingers a little wiggle, your wrists a roll, a shake, work out that downward facing dog twist. Begin to reach both arms up to the sky, and we'll take a sweeping side bend. So bring your left hand to your thigh, right arm up and over. And bring it back to center, arms to a T, right hand down, left arm up and over. And again, back to a T, left hand down, right arm reaches, side bend. And back to a T, and take it to the other side. Bring it back to center, reach both arms up, interlace your hands, press your knuckles forward with that beach ball again, chin to chest, round your upper back. Bring it to center, interlace and press straight up, take a breath here. And open your arms, let your hands come down, Tadasana, framing your hips. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, let go. Step yourself to plank pose. And take a flow through, coming into a Sphinx pose when you get to the floor. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, whatever feels, again, authentic for you today. Slide your elbows under your shoulders, come to Sphinx. So we'll take this one gentle back bend before we start to do our add-on flow today. Keep the heart stretching forward, press down into your hands and drag slightly back. Beautiful. Lift your belly a bit, take a breath. And slowly release. Slide hands under your chest, downward facing dog. Curl your toes, lift your seat. Full length this time. Notice how this one feels different than the first. Walk your feet up to your hands, coming into a standing forward bend, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, inhale. And let it go, exhale. Root down, rise all the way up. Stretch your arms and heart up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Now you may want one block at the back of the mat, one block at the front of the mat. We'll be moving around the mat. Again, in the spirit of the wheel of karma, we'll move in a circular fashion today. So coming up to the top of the mat, standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Wide arms and an open heart, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, and let it go, exhale. Step your left foot back, low lunge. Drop your left knee to the mat. If you need a blanket, use your blanket to pad. Make sure your right knee is directly over its heel, and begin to rise with your breath, floating your arms up and above your shoulders, binding opposite elbows if that feels like a good option for you. If not, raise your arms. Don't bind. Take a deep breath in and out here. Find a little hug between that right heel and the left knee. Perhaps lift your heart the tiniest bit. Reach your arms up. Take your right hand down beyond your hip and your left arm up and over for a little side bend. Now if you have a block, you can put the block there. If you don't, just hover your hand and reach that left arm over to the right. Deep breath in and out. Begin to reach your arms up and bring your hands down to frame your foot, half Hanuman. So again, if you want to bring that block in for support or just fingertips, do that. And then maybe make some tiny circles or wiggle your toes of that right foot. And do that in both directions. Begin to bend into your knee again, rising up to Parsvottanasana. Lift the left knee and step your foot slightly in so you can get both heels on the floor. Beautiful. Lengthen your spine nice and long, heart reaches forward. And bow in if that serves you. If it doesn't, just stay where you are. Keep working some balance through the hips by squeezing your feet to the midline of the mat. With your next breath, rise to a flat back if you're not already there. Bring your hands to your waist and slowly rise up. Turn all your toes to face the left side of the mat in a horse stance. So it's like a wide leg chair. Your toes can turn slightly out or feet are parallel. Reach your arms forward and your hips back. Beautiful. Inner spiral of the thighs. Lift your tailbone away from your lungs. So imagine that you could stretch your lungs forward and your tailbone way back. With your next breath, root down, reach your arms up and straighten your legs. Turn your left toes to the back of the mat and spin your right heel out for a short warrior one. So bend into the left knee, really anchor into that right heel and stretch your arms straight up. Squeeze your feet together to find some balance in the hips. Take another deep breath in, complete breath out. And then pop that right heel up, step to Tadasana, back of the mat, hands next to the hips. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. We're going through the same side here. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, let go. Step back with the left foot, same side. Drop your left knee. Low lunge, rise up and bind the elbows. Again, if that serves you. Reach opposite hand to opposite elbows and lift long through the sides of the body. Deep breath in, full breath out. One more deep breath here, arms reach up, right hand hovers beyond the hip, side bend. Lift your left arm and reach to the right. Reach both arms up, frame your foot with your hands, and begin to take a little twist. So you can take the right arm straight up, you can reach your arm back, maybe you can bend your left knee for a bind, and reach back and find some resistance between your foot and your hand, or just bend your knee. You don't even have to get your foot or your heel. Soften into the front of the left hip. Still strong through that right sole of the foot. Take one more deep breath. And as you exhale, frame your foot, release that back foot, and step into Parsvottanasana. Left foot steps forward slightly, legs are long. And again, work some balance into those hips. Squeeze right heel towards the left inner arch to create some balance. Beautiful. With your next breath, lift to a flat back. Bring your hands to your waist and rise up. Turn so that you're facing the long edge of your mat, horse stance. Tail back, hands forward. Deep breath here. Complete breath out. One more long breath in and out here. Rise all the way up on your inhale. Turn your left toes forward, kick your right heel out, short warrior one. Really driving into that back heel to stretch your calf. Take another breath in here. And exhale, Tadasana. Step up to the top of the mat. Rise with your breath, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. All the way up to stand, reach your arms up, heart up. Exhale, hands to your heart. We'll do the whole thing on the other side. So inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, forward bend. Halfway lift, inhale. Let it go, exhale. This time the right foot steps back. So your left knee is over your left heel, low lunge. Adjust your blocks as needed. Rise with your breath, reach your arms up, and again, take that bind, maybe finding that switch, the awkward bind, yeah. And lifting up long through the waist, the ribs, the armpits, up through the elbows. Reach your arms all the way up, and bring your left hand down beyond your hip, right arm takes the side bend. With your in-breath, reach your arms up, and with your exhale, find half Hanuman, shift your hips back, toes up. Deep breath in. Again, maybe taking those little circles with your toes, or wiggling your toes, or waving your ankle. Bend into your knee and step the back foot in for Parsvottanasana. Step that right foot in a footprint and work some balance into the hips by squeezing your feet to the center of the mat. Inhale, lift to a flat back. Bring your hands to your waist and rise to stand, turning your feet to the long edge of the mat to the right, coming into horse stance. Bend your knees, tail back, hands forward. 3 breaths here. Root down, rise up, turn your right toes to the back of the mat, kick your left heel out for warrior 1. Root down into the back heel as you lift and extend up from the waist to the armpits to the fingertips. Take another breath here and step the left foot to meet the right, Tadasana mountain pose. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. And exhale, forward bend. Halfway lift, inhale. And let it go, exhale. Step your right foot back again. Low lunge, drop your right knee. Left knee over left heel. And begin to rise up with your breath again. So reaching the arms up, again, opposite elbows. Long through your side body. Maybe lift your heart the tiniest bit on this round. And then begin to reach your arms up, hovering the left hand, reach over with the right, side bend. Switch, left hand down, right arm up. There we go. Deep breath in here. Complete breath out. Reach both arms up, frame your foot, and we'll come into that twist now. So maybe you can bend that back knee and reach back. Maybe it's a simple twist with right hand down, left arm up, or left arm back. Keep your heart nice and open. Breathing into the front of the hips. Soften, soften, soften. And take one more breath here. Begin to release that foot if you have it. And step your right foot in a footprint for Parsvottanasana. So lift that knee and take a step forward so you can lengthen both legs. Again, do your best to work those hips to balance, drawing the left waist back, right waist slightly forward by squeezing your feet to the center of the mat. With your next breath, lift to a flat back, hands to the waist to rise, and we'll turn to the right side of the mat for horse stance. Bend your knees, tail back, hands in the opposite direction. Reach your lungs forward, your tail back, inner thighs go wide and back. One more breath. Begin to rise, turn your right toes forward, kick your left heel out, warrior 1. Bend deeply into the right knee, but anchor more so into that left heel and stretch up from there. Take one more breath and step into Tadasana, mountain pose, top of the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale through heart center, forward bend. Halfway lift, inhale. Let it go, exhale, step back, plank pose, and flow through as you like. We made it all the way around 4 times. Come through your flow, meeting in down dog. And now you have an opportunity to take child or puppy at the bottom of this flow. So your choice, you can stay in dog pose, you can come down to hands and knees in either puppy or in child. Eckhart Tolle says, life will give you whatever experience is most helpful for the evolution of your consciousness. How do you know this is the experience you need? Because this is the experience you are having in this moment. The best way to think of karma is an energy that you're creating every moment. Every intentional action or thought generates this energy. Reach your hands forward, your hips high. We're moving towards a pigeon pose. So if you know that pigeon is challenging for your knees or hips, you can come onto your back for figure 4, or you can begin to work your right knee a little wider than its pinky finger. That right heel can come close to the frontal left hip point. Your shin could be parallel to the top of your mat. For most of us, that's not the case. So don't be married to that. Extend back through the left leg, long and parallel down the left side of the mat. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Find some hug to the midline, some balance. From there, bring yourself down to the floor. Maybe forearms to the floor, maybe forehead to the floor. Perhaps bringing a block in through your forehead. Give yourself the space to be in this moment, to experience the experience that you are having right now. And take another long breath in and out here. Begin to come up onto your hands. And we'll move that right knee so that it's shifting more towards the center of the mat, the top center of the mat. As we swing that back leg across, we're going Ukasana legs. And if it's really challenging for you to stack your knees in this way, just come into an easy seat. Where we started at the beginning of the practice. If you could work your feet to the longer edges of the mat, just a tiny bit, and get into your seat, you can do that. If you have a blanket that you can access, you can tuck that blanket under your seat, and that might help as well. Nevin Bashan, the founder of Patoni Yoga, likes to kind of work the body in a geometric way and where things fit one into the other. So in her theory, the armpit and the knee fit really nicely together. So that's the direction we're going, but probably won't fully get there. But imagine that you could fit the ball of the knee, that round place of the knee there, into your armpit. So begin to take that left armpit and bring it on top of the left knee, letting your left hand come to the floor. You can walk those right fingertips out or bring your right hand to your waist and turn towards that left foot and breathe there for a moment. Begin to slowly rise up and reach both arms up. So now we'll switch and see if we can get the right armpit connected to that left knee in some small way. Again, it might not fully get there, but do your best. Take a little twist, place your right hand down and walk your left fingertips over so you're draped across that left thigh. Now you can come back to the twist on the other side, or simply cross that left elbow in front of the right and drape forward. Let your spine get a little heavier. Maybe you can rest your chin on your knee or on your upper arms, or bring a block in for that. Get connected to your breath and your core again. Slowly bring yourself up. Take your time getting there. That's a deep one. Extend your legs, give them a little wiggle, and we'll do that whole sequence on the second side. So take your time, wiggle it out. Maybe flex and point your toes a few times. And bring yourself back to dog or table or however you want to get to your pigeon on the left. Work that right side away by pedaling your feet a bit. Notice the difference between your right and your left side. And then we'll bring that pigeon to the left. So tucking that left knee outside of the pinky finger, left heel comes close to the right frontal hip point, maybe parallel to the top of the mat. Right leg is long down that long edge of the mat on the side. Squeeze your inner thighs together to get engaged and find that balance between left and right, and then bring yourself down. So you can come forehead to a block or forearms to a block or to the earth. Settle into your breath. You can think of karma as a guiding force in your life. And if karma were a flower, what would you water? What plants and flowers would you water in your life? Mindfulness gives us the ability to choose which flowers we water and which we don't. And that's really what people label as good and bad karma. And if we're not mindful, we're simply reacting to conditioned thought patterns. Take one more long breath in and out here. Begin to come back up to your hands. Press into your hands, point that left knee so it's pointing to the short edge of your mat. Yeah, and then swing that right leg forward, stacking your right knee on top of your left knee. Again, coming into somewhat of those Gomukhasana legs as much as you can. Stacking the right knee on top of the left. Yeah. And Gomukhasana for me is a very wiggly pose. It takes me a while to get into it, to widen my feet out and get settled into my hips. So a blanket helps, a block helps. Yeah. As you get settled, take a breath, and we'll start to wind that right armpit towards the right knee. So turning your belly button towards your right toes. You can bring your forearm to a block again or to the earth. You can wind the left fingertips out beyond your hip or maybe for a half bind. But again, envisioning that the armpit and the knee joint fit one into the other. Stay with an easy, balanced breath, but a strong breath. Keep it moving. Begin to slowly unwind, raise your arms above your head again, and we'll take it to the other side. So bringing that left armpit towards the right knee now, as much as you can. Maybe wiggling those right fingertips back, settling in, finding some softness, easy breath. You can stay here or change the shape by crossing that right elbow over the left and taking more of a pure fold. Another long breath in and out where you landed. And again, take it slow as you remove yourself from this particular shape. Begin to unwind your legs, give them a little wiggle.
here comes that opportunity to use your blanket or your bolster and your blocks. We'll come into a more restorative shape to give us some space to digest the practice today. So perhaps rolling a blanket and placing it down the length of your spine, or Cyndy has a small bolster that she can use. She could also use both. She could stack one on top of the other. Fold the soles of your feet together and knees wide, tucking blocks underneath your knees for Supta Baddha Konasana. So you get a little hip and a little heart with this pose. Allow your shoulders to snuggle around that blanket or bolster, palms turn up, or perhaps connecting your hands to your belly, or one to your heart and one to your belly. Again, whatever feels best for you, most authentic for you in this moment, so that you can truly experience this moment. In Hinduism, there are several laws that govern karma. Here are a few. Whatever you sow, so shall you reap. What you refuse to accept shall continue for you. Wherever you go, there you are. Put in good, and you will cultivate good. What are the flowers that you're watering in your life? Take 3 more breaths where you are in this restorative pose. I know it's hard to want to move out of this. And as you come to the bottom of that third exhale, begin to remove yourself from your props, or not. You can draw your knees together and separate your feet. If your bolster behind you isn't super high, you can windshield wiper your knees easily with the bolster still behind you. And if not, you might need to move away from it. Perhaps bring your arms to a T or reach them above your head. And make some movement with your body. If you need socks or a sweatshirt or anything for Shavasana today, please feel free to put those on. Take a moment. And mindfully bring yourself to some shape where you can rest and restore at the end of your practice. So Cyndy's taking constructive rest today with feet a little wider than the hips, knees kissing at the middle, taking all the effort out of the legs. Come to your breath. Bring your awareness to a balanced inhale and exhale. If you have more time to spend in Shavasana today, please feel free to do that. If you're moving on with your day, begin to return movement to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, perhaps draw your knees in. If there's a bigger movement that you'd like to take as you close your practice, please do so. As you roll to your right side, pause there, savor this moment. And press your hands into the earth to bring yourself back to where we started today, easy seat. Sit well. Again, reaching your head away from your tail, draw your shoulders onto your back, close your eyes, and draw your hands to heart center. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you have peace and ease in your life. May you be happy. And may the thoughts, words, and deeds you put out into the world create love, health, peace, ease, and happiness for all those whose lives you touch. Thank you so much to Cyndy for being a great model today, and for all of you for sharing your time and energy with us every day. In gratitude, namaste.
Namaste.